So, the wheels started turning, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Could this be one of the things that may stop a person or, hinder the person's success? Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I am Aradia Arcanum, and welcome to Arcanum's Dark Light. So I wanted to make this video, just some things I want to share, some thoughts that I have gathered from some workings that I have done or am still doing, and just through some studies that I am currently working on. So I wanted to share some of these thoughts with you, and that would be based on some astrological magic and how the health of your chart and what that even is can affect how you resonate and work with spirits or demons, and even within the realms of like the Qliphoth tree. So I wanted to share all of my collective thoughts with you guys on what I have been doing and learning thus far. So if that's something you want to hear about, grab a seat. So firstly, I was trying to figure out how, if I should share this first, what order to do this in, but I'll lead you up to my experience with the 7th Qliphoth and the Tunnel of Set, the 28th Tunnel of Set. So first, let's talk about astrological magic. What does that have to do with that, right? just hold. I have, if you know me, and if you've been on my other channel, I have been working with sigils and talismans, and have for a long time been involved with astrology. So astrology is like so many layers. So through the years, I've took a deep dive into a lot of those layers. And lately, because of talismans, this has taken me down the road of astrological magic. In the realms of astrological magic is remediation astrology. Now, I'm not going to go into remediation in detail. I will do that. I'll save that for another video because it can have a video all to itself. But essentially, this means the health of your chart. In not so many words, it's just the overall health of the planets in your chart. So learning this, and this is something that comes more from an Ayurvedic approach. When you work with remediating the health of your chart, you look at how the health of any planets are, meaning in astrology, we have planets, the dignities of the planets, and this means whether they're in their exaltation, fall, or detriment. So what you would do is you would look at your chart and find out if any of these planets are in their fall or detriment, because this would be the area where you would need to remediate, essentially heal. And when I say heal, that looks like doing mantras, wearing crystals that are in alignment, the attributes of this planet you want to spend time with. Build an altar to that planet, spend time with it, or do things that are all about that planet. That's essentially without going into detail what that means. So with that said, and with that understanding, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because when you want to work with a spirit, you begin to build that relationship and do the research and understand all of the attributes that go along with that spirit. Most of the time, the spirit is in alignment with a planet. So when you think about that, or at least when I thought about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If this specifically demon is associated with this planet that is in detriment, when it's in detriment, does that affect anyone's, relationship with that spirit? I began to think about this. The reason why I thought about it was because I'll now get to that in a second. with working with the seventh Qliphoth on the Qliphoth tree. But yeah, so I begin to have this thought process of if your planet isn't healthy or happy, can you have a successful relationship with a demon? So now let me take you to my experience and then I'll tie this all together. So the seventh spear on the Qliphoth tree, Venus is the planet for this spear. And the reason, and one of the things that made me, the light bulb go on when I was doing the research was this is black or dark Venus in this realm. So the minute I heard Venus, for me in my chart, and the crazy thing is, Venus is the ruler of my chart because I have Taurus rising, but Venus is in its detriment and one of the worst places it could be, and I have Venus in Scorpio. So, you know, the wheels started turning and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Could this be one of the things that may stop a person or you know, hinder the person's success? Thankfully, I have and am working with my Venus because I know this. So there are things that I do. I have a space in my altar for Venus. I do Venusian things. And so forth. So thankfully, because of this, I didn't look at that as an issue. But it just made me think about, you know, all of the idea of this. Let me take you through what happened. Firstly, the night before I was going to do the initiation into that Qliphoth, into that spear, what I do is I call Lucifer. I'm like, you know, hey Lucifer. But I sit with him and I ask for his guidance and protection as I go through the Qliphoth, through the realms. So I did that, and that night, Lucifer showed up. So that night, I'm in the Astral. Lucifer has at least 5 sigils that I know about, and one of them I think I've seen it couple of times years ago, and it has not crossed my mind since. I have not worked with that sigil. So I'm in the Astral, and all of a sudden what appears is an image of a face, and the face looked like it had like a crown or horns. I'll show you an image in a second, but I saw this face, and from the face was lines, 3 lines coming down on each side like a tree. And at the end of each line, there was a square. And I now understand that those squares represented doors. So there were 3 on each side. So this is my rough sketch. You know, when you come out of the Astral and you have images, you want to kind of hurry up and jot them down so you won't forget them. I may spend time actually creating a better picture, but this was what I did so that I wouldn't forget. But yeah, so when I looked at this face, something said, wait a minute, I've seen this before. So then I looked up, and I forget which grimoire it's in. It's also in the Queen of Hell by Mark Allen Smith, where it shows the 5 sigils of Lucifer. But it's also in another grimoire. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. But the face, that was one of Lucifer's sigils. So I was like, okay. And it's crazy that he did it that way, because then I would know that it wasn't something I made up, because this is not a sigil that I work with or even had on my mind for years. So I saw that image. And for me, what that is saying is, he's giving the okay. He's giving, yes, I got you. And also, I still get the sense of, okay, this is something I've done already. And what I'm thinking is, this is my understanding. When things happen in the astral, it's a lot easier for you to do it in the physical because it's already happened. So anyway, that was that part of what I saw, the vision. And after that, there was this person that I only saw the back of their head because they were walking in front of me and leading me somewhere, and they were taking me down this hall. All I remember was saying, I saw these people coming from that direction. They were walking fast, and then I remember saying, why are they walking so fast? But so then we took this sharp left turn, and there was this long like hallway, and the hallway almost kind of resembled the image because I remember it was like a cosmic blue walls and even the floor. And within the paint, there was like these strips of strands of fabric with all different colors throughout the paint on the wall. And there was one door all the way at the end of the hallway, but there were a few doors on each side of the wall going down. And the person that was guiding me walked all the way down to the door at the end. So that's the thing that's making me say, okay, we're passing all of these doors. That's the thing that's making me say that I have been initiated through more of the tree than I think. But typical me, I'm still going to do the work to have an understanding to be able to share that with you. And what is going to happen, what I'm finding, like I said, is if this is the case, then I'm finding that I traversing through it, with no problem. It seems familiar to me. It seems I have an understanding of it because it has taken place in the astral. In doing all of this, these are the thoughts that I have with Venus. Because again, like I mentioned, this was the realm that the planet Venus, the archetype of Venus was within. So I think it's important to understand some of these highlights about your chart, the health of the planets in your chart, because the ruler of your planet could be like mine. It could be in its fall or detriment. If the ruler of your chart is in detriment, you will absolutely have some come up against some resistance for that archetype in your life. And if this is the ruler, this is your first house, right? This is the lens of which you see things throughout the entirety of your chart. So if it's not healthy, I think this is something important to maybe think about or look at, because you may find that, oh, that makes sense. Maybe this is why I can't do this, or I'm having difficulties doing this. I'm having difficulties working with this spirit. I'm having difficulties casting this type of magic. But yeah, so I wanted to come on here and share my experience, and just kind of give you something else to think about. And because I think this is very important, I'll do two things. One, I will, on my website, on the free download section, I will upload a chart that you could take a look at, that it has other things on it. So don't look at other things. Just, you can do the research on them. But what you should focus on is looking at the zodiac. And you want to look at, obviously, the zodiac that is maybe each zodiac on your chart. But start off with your sun, moon, and rising. So look at that zodiac for your rising, and it'll tell you for that zodiac what planets are in its exaltation, the happy planets, what planets are in its fall and detriment. And like I said, there's other elements there, but don't get that. That can be overwhelming. Just look at the planets that are, your goal is to kind of look at what's detriment and fall. So I will upload that. And then also, if you don't know how to get access to your birth chart, or you don't even know where to begin, you can email me and I will assist with getting that birth chart for you for free. I'm doing this because I think this is important. What you will need, however, is you must have your time. So the time that you were born, your birth date, the birth time, and the place that you were born, city, state, country. And if you have that information and you would like my help, go ahead and email me that information. All that information is in the description of this video. And I will do what I can to get your birth chart and highlight where your you may have detriments and falls. So just some food for thought. And I'm having this lovely journey going down this path of astrological magic. That is it for this video. All the information that I mentioned will be in the description. Hopefully I remember. But if not, and I've said something that is not in the description, again, email me or put it in the comments and let me know. Until the next video, I love you all, and into the shadows.